So this concept of you have these simulated personalities and you run simulations of what exactly they're of what they would do if you put them together in some situation. Maybe changing some of the initial values a bit, changing some parameters at the start of the simulation, running numerous of these, and just aggregating that data. That concept did come up vaguely in a different game that I played recently. I'm going to upload that later. I just haven't uploaded that yet. Really doubt that this took inspiration from that. Doesn't seem like it did at all. But just a little bit of a relationship between games. There's a tendency to want to write some of this simulating people stuff. Um, like I can run the story with a slightly different starting parameters and see differences if I change the starting parameters. A common science fiction Eastern visual novel thing, even though this is Western. So I already looked at these emails. As far as these side stories are concerned, it seems like none of them, like my crazy twist meter or my crazy twist radar is sending out pings and it's not getting any returns. It's looking like these are extremely likely to just be continuing therapy sessions, or like little what would you call these? Um, the stories you would tell to kids. I don't know, like little, I don't know, kid stories. Um, and they're not gonna throw something at me in like the fifth and sixth that is very severe. Um, I really hope they would, but it doesn't really look like it. So it looks like we're just going to be doing more mushy stuff. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Um, More touchy feely, slice of life, perfect friendship stories. So the next one looks like they're going to introduce Natsuki finally. I don't know how well my mic's going to pick that up, but we'll try it. Probably only do the first half in this recording, unlike my previous ones where I did both halves. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Okay, so we're just gonna time skip forward. The previous story happened like a day after, like the part two happened like a day after part one. So we're now going several weeks. Okay. Through their initial setbacks, the three club members so far, Monica, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. But they need 4 people to register as an official club, so they're only a club amongst themselves. And as far as their flyers are presenting them, Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's high fantasy literature, and all 3 of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. On a day like any other, the 3 find themselves suddenly interrupted by the clubroom door opening. And in walks the girl none of them have seen before. So she's 1 class down. How can they all be 18 then? She got held back. Hey. Sayori tugs excitedly at Monica's sleeve. Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her book. Well, we got new music. Are you here for the literature club? Yeah. Yay, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, so it's really exciting to see new faces. Yeah. Come and sit down somewhere. You can sit next to my desk. Sayori prances over to her desk and presses her palms onto it. Oh, and Yuri can make you some tea. I've already profiled this girl, and I know I'm not gonna like her. Yuri looks at Sayori in protest for having drawn attention to her, but that is some advantage to school uniforms. It's harder to profile people. Natsuki silently glances between everyone and sits down next to Sayori. Monika follows by sitting nearby. The southern gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, deciding that standing in the corner and making tea doesn't sound so bad after all. Okay then, how about we all introduce ourselves?
Okay.
Well, I'm Monika. I'm the one who started the club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really wanted to do something that I felt more passionate about, so that makes sense. The line was if that makes sense. So I started the literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing or reading or whatever other kind of literature.
You know, I figured it was your club. You have that vibe.
Uh-huh. I have... what vibe?
Oh, you know, like... Never mind.
She has that, pretentious vibe? What you're trying to go for? Or that overly academic vibe?
I'm not going to judge people. I just meant like that.
Very adult-like of you. I always judge people so hard. And from the beginning of the scene, we can say that Yuri also judged people so hard. Oh, no you don't, Sayori. Yes, she does. Oh, it's supposed to be deadpan. Yes, she does. Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles. I'm Sayori. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. I'm just completely blasé. I'm completely, normal. Completely bourgeois. Oh, and I also like poetry.
Oh yeah. Very adult-like of you.
Hehehe. I'm an adult. As stated at the opening of the game. The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room. Oh, that's Yuri. Sayori lowers her voice. Oh, that's Yuri. She's kinda shy, but she's really nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her.
Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I listen to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry.
Oh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably...
cookie dough. Or maybe chocolate.
It's cookie dough.
And Monika's is probably vanilla.
What the heck? I mean, if you take that as an insult, I would just be insulted.
I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate.
What's Yuri's favorite? Natsuki shrugs.
Probably green tea. I'm just joking. I have no idea for Yuri.
Still,
It's pretty chill here. Do you just like hang out, or do you actually do club stuff?
oh, well, we do club stuff too. It just hasn't been very structured yet since we only have 3 members, so we kind of just loosely spend our time doing the stuff we like. But I keep think it's about time we start with some more structured club activities. Okay, Monica's starting to pick up the saying the word like a lot thing. which you don't actually hear in the main game until you get to the end, and the narrated lines that are not subtitled, purely audio, that Monica speaks before playing your reality. It's like, you know how I was practicing piano? Oh. But again, that wasn't, you didn't really see that in the dialogue of the game until you got to the end. So it's of some note that that's being displayed here, at least in these few lines. Didn't show up in any of the previous side stories either. It's been a while by now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, with that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you'd like the club to get into? And here comes the manga. And here comes the respect.
Well, I guess I'm literature. Well, I like manga.
Manga?
Hey, why'd you say it like that?
I want to read manga in the club. Wait, hold on a second. That sounds so great, like after all we've been doing, all this, Hey. Yuri returns to the desk with a tray of teacups, which he sets down on an empty desk. After all the deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple.
Manga isn't simple. If you think like that, then you don't understand the nuance.
That may be true. I haven't read any manga, but I would imagine it's definitely not simple. And that's not just because I'm an American. I didn't mean simple like that. Well, anyway, putting manga aside, is there any other kind of literature that you're interested in? Wrong thing to say, Monica.
Well, not really. In that case, have you considered the anime club?
So here goes the plot. This is why Monica and Natsuki were on the cover.
Are you serious? I'm not going to join the anime club. It's full of weird guys. Come on. Is it that big of a deal? Manga is literature, right?
I mean, I guess if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically.
I get it. Look, I'll do whatever club activities you want. Can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I can just keep my manga here and hang out after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right?
The whole point of this is just so that I can keep my manga in the club room. That's just the point. Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed into my locker, so I'm going to start getting it, okay?
Natsuki stands up. Need some help?
Nah, I got it. I don't want you to see my locker.
I have a lot of pictures of weird guys in there. If you say so, but there's no way it's worse than mine.
I hope you never find out then.
Natsuki exits the club room, leaving everyone in silence, save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea. Oh, I'm such a pushover. Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seems like a lot of fun. Maybe, but I mean, has she no actual interest in literature, you know? Just trying to use a club to store her manga in a room, and that's all. And that's normally fine, but she said she would participate in club activities like it's some kind of obligation. Her tea is going to get cold. Yeah. Wait. That's not related. Well, I think everyone deserves a chance. Especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature. My lines are very formulaic. Are you sure you don't want to just read her manga, Sayori? Hey, who do you think I am? She's someone who pretends to like things. To just be nice. So if she says she wants to do something, she's just trying to be nice, that's all. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have any opinion, Yuri? Not particularly. She said she wasn't going to bother anyone, that includes me, so... Does that mean bother you? No, you're a pleasure to be around. Wait, I read that wrong, didn't I? Does that mean I bother you? Okay. I was just fishing for a compliment. I know. But still, I really think we should give her a chance. Yeah, alright. But I really am gonna start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate. Suddenly the three of them hear a thump against the door. What was that? It's a Dagwood scene. Sayori stands up and walks over to the door, then opens it.
Thank you.
Carrying 3 boxes of what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can. That's quite a collection. Sayori giggles in excitement. While catching her breath, Natsuki replies.
There's still one more box. I can put them away myself. I know how to organize them.
Monica anxiously glances between Sayori and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. It seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. The next club meeting, Monica is the first to arrive. But ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. Why am I so nervous? Monica paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki said she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere has changed so much? Because we all know Natsuki is not going to not bother anyone. Yes, that was a double negative. While Monica thinks, the club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a box. Monica forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return. Need help?
No, I got it.
Monica awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation, but fails. Curious, she peeks into the closet where Natsuki is stashing all her manga. Once dull with school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork. You know, the top shelf is pretty empty. Maybe we could keep it up there. I can't reach up there. That would be so inconvenient. Yeah, but... Monica sighs. The teachers are going to ask what all this manga is doing here, and I have to tell them it's for the literature club.
So...
Monica backs off and slumps into a desk. With this kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past weeks is being sucked right out of the room. Good afternoon. Sayori spins into the club room.
Oh, I see someone's in a good mood.
Yeah, because I have this. Sayori brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic. I found some money and got a cookie. Oh, it's so pretty. As Sayori trots over to the closet, the colorful shelves catch her eye. Which one do I start with?
Well, you can start by giving me a bite of that cookie.
No way. I saved up all my luck to find that money.
If you want entry into my kingdom, you need to pay the tax, peasant.
Boo. Defeated Sayori unwraps her cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monika glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding. Well, everyone's here now? Is that like an I want tea? Despite the club only having one more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Okay, so I think today we should go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have 4 members now, so it would be great if we found some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too. Well, I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we can give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else. Well, maybe, but that would mean Natsuki would get a day, and I don't feel comfortable with that. Something tells me that... Monika glances at Yuri and Natsuki, who both appear very unwilling to even consider each other's interests. Maybe we can try to come up with something that everyone can enjoy equally? You know, like we all vote on a book to read or something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests rather than just stick to the things we're familiar with. Your wording is not subtle. Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Did I read that wrong?
Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here?
Natsuki, didn't you say you would go along with whatever the club wanted to do?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I liked Sayori's suggestion.
Yeah, me too. But that's Sayori's one defining trait, is everyone likes... Oh, yeah, but, Monika's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monika finds it incredibly difficult to relent to her demands. If Natsuki doesn't respect the club, why should Monika have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything? Natsuki, are you sure that you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear, I don't mind if you keep your manga in here, but Natsuki cuts Monika off by suddenly standing up.
Well, it's obvious that I'm not wanted here, so I'm just going to leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it.
Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to conclusions here, but you're free to do whatever you want. Natsuki shoots Monika a quick glare before walking straight out of the room. I might turn down the noise filter just in case. Like, what does that mean? Oh no! Sarah runs after her, leaving just Monika and Yuri. For the second time today, Monika slumps down into a desk. Why am I such a cool dude? No, she's a jerk. She's just making me feel this way. Monika looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away. She probably just went around looking for the smallest club she can find so that she doesn't have to participate. That's backwards. If you don't want to participate, the easiest thing to do is to find the largest club, because then you can get lost in it. How does she expect me to give her respect when she has no respect for the club? Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things. Monika sighs. Me neither. I just have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. If you write this character of Yuri right here, then Yuri comes with a come-through, because that's what these characters tend to do. You know, like people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, or at least develop it. So maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all. Monika sits in silence, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything. You can, sorry. You can just go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does how? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where the peace has been disturbed. Oh. Well, great. I'm just ruining the whole club, then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of voicing my frustration. And I guess guilt. It's like my frustration wants to blame her, but my guilt wants to blame me. Why is the hardest to be rational during the times you need the most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands of the club, your club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even sorting it for her should make her completely indebted to you. Well, Yuri makes a come-through, but it's a bit different than you might expect. Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous and it has no place here? Do you feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it, so I assumed you felt the same way about it. With my smile sprite. That's not true. Well, recalling her confrontations with Natsuki, a realization starts to set in. You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that it has nothing to do with the manga. I'm really upset that I would let myself do that. Yuri would be like, but that's what you're supposed to do. With a sigh, Monica walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves. It's just, this really wasn't what I had in mind for a club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Monica starts defending her position once again. She noticed that in one of the boxes, there was an item that didn't seem to match with the rest of the box set. This seemed odd, since each individual volume, well, I said bottom, was without a single crease. Like, Natsuki takes immaculate care out of her collectible volumes. But still jammed in here at the end of this box set is this little compact disc in a case. Thinking it might have been anime and physical media, I took it out and looked at the title, and it was Doki Doki Literature Club. And then I realized, no. Literature, huh? I don't know what I was doing with that. Where is the line even drawn and what's considered literature? I mean, this game is literature, right? She literally is in a literature. Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, expecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls, striking cute and exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts. Were they blue? Yeah, I mean, amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monica opens the book. I gotta keep going with this. I can't stop there. But I gotta look at the pictures. So, no new CGs, of course. No new backgrounds. No new poems. Is it this? Well, I haven't seen this before, but it doesn't show it. It doesn't give me that pink dot that says it's new. Okay. Yeah, this is from the Understanding 2. Okay. Well, don't notice anything particularly new. So I don't know what that was all about, but I unlocked something new. Okay. Music. Yeah, I know there's new music. Um, don't know which one it is, but when Natsuki first showed up in the club room, there was a new background music. Okay, keep going with this.
This. Ooh, I'm not warmed up. This sucks. Why is Monica such a jerk?
Man, it's not working there. Okay.
Why is Monica such a jerk?
Yeah, I lost it. Oh well.
She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she can find any members.
Monica's usually really nice. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy.
Yeah, right.
Well, she usually does.
Maybe when she's not busy being judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it?
I accept it. I think it's cute.
Oh, come on. That's condescending too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you. This audio is going to be so hard to edit and post. Natsuki sighs.
I know. Thanks. It just really sucks.
Do you want me to talk to Monica?
I don't know. It's not like it's going to change her opinion of me. Like, even if we're to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club.
Good point.
I should just find another club.
Wait, you don't have to do that. You don't have to join any clubs at all. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. And I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and be happy. So I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason you decided to join the literature club? And here we go.
Well,
Natsuki hesitates.
it's kind of dumb.
Don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome. Well, be surprised, Sayori.
I wasn't welcome.
You were to me. So,
I just don't tell anyone, okay?
what was this Sayori you're talking about? So, she's gonna tell people.
Especially Monica.
I promise. Natsuki sighs.
I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care what anyone else thinks. But you know, the signs for the literature club said that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it was at least worth a shot.
That's not stupid, that's plot.
But that was a lie, apparently.
Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall.
Oh, and I like writing too.
Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica?
Because she was being so judgmental that I just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew that I was into writing, then she could just be like everyone else and try to push me away from manga in favor of more mature things. Or the mature thing.
The two of them remain silent for a while. Sayori understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today, at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club, just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So, I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. I promise. It's lunchtime the next day. The cafeteria and hallways are bustling with students rushing to meet their friends and make the most out of their limited break time. Where could she be? Among them is Monica, who always eats lunch in her classroom, but she has some additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so that she could make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out from the crowd. Oh gosh. Suddenly feeling awkward, Monica is afraid to get closer. Natsuki is with some friends whom Monica doesn't recognize and they're all energetically chatting together. Wait, so she does have friends. It would be really tactless to just interrupt them. Ambiguous Silhouette 1. Oh yeah, did you end up joining the literature club or what?
Of course I joined. Why wouldn't I?
Huh, I told you she would join. Come on, you know she only joined because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club.
I told you, I never even wanted to join that stupid club.
Oh, sure. The ambiguous silhouette also even has a different sprite. Well, you have to give her some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up, just let me do my thing. I'm just joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your book. What, you're gonna buy her smutty fanfiction? Some friends you are. Well, obviously I want a signed copy. That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how you've come since then. So not used to like trying to do something with the voices.
That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now?
Not to mention, you couldn't have done without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. Yeah, sure. That's like a backhanded reassurance. They grow up so fast, it brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glances in Monika's direction, prompting Monika to quickly turn away and distance herself. What the heck? That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything. I'm hardly better than them after the way I treated her. Oh, it's so awful. I'm not doing anything right. After school ends, Monika distractedly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes in a book as usual. Monika picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately. Yuri, I don't think I can be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go, like, exactly my way. Yuri looks up from her book. It's like the literature club is a place where you get to express yourself, unless it is the way that I don't like, so I'm mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skill to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just like a lot on my mind. No. I enjoy listening. Really? Why? Yuri shrugs. It just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just continue then. Yuri nods. Yeah, Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It makes me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't even figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they were just so mean to her. Telling her to grow up and stuff like that. That the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad. Like, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, I remember fantasy isn't really my thing, so I was kind of trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't, because I just let Sayori handle it instead. And now I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. Monika shakes her head. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like, I can't just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. I'm so angry that her friends were treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Get them back? Yeah. Revenge party plot? I'll get them back by making sure that this is the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one that they want. Suddenly, Sayori burst through the door, making Monika and Yuri jump. But they were in chairs. I guess they just hit their knees on the bottom of the desk. With a rare stern face, she marches over to Monika's desk and sits down next to her. I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president. Is this about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it. Really? I'm so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her. Oh. Yay, I did it. Thanks for the intervention, Sayori. I'm glad we're on the same page. Friendship wins again. So how do you want to make it up to her? I have a plan. Sayori, do you know if Natsuki is coming to the club meeting today? I don't know. I don't think she is. I see. Monika is afraid of that, not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. It's so easy to just duck away from conflict and wait for it to blow over. But that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow? I can do that. Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away and hide a smile. Well, I guess for today, it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out for a bit, is that okay? Yeah, I'm just going to read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here? Sayori picks up a manga that was resting on the adjacent desk. Oh, that's, Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. But I thought she hasn't been coming to the club. Actually, Monika's been... Okay, Yuri, I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay? Monika smiles at them both. Then, with a wave, she exits the club room. I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now, I wonder if there's a keyboard I can borrow from the music room. So, she practiced on Natsuki before playing for the protagonist. The time for the next club meeting has already arrived. Nope, it was just a little nod. It was just a little, okay. Monica and Yuri are the first to arrive. I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori is going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. You know, you're right. Time slowly passes. Monica sits, then stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here! Welcome back. Monica, the club president, stands up and greets them with a smile. Like handshake. Sayori picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monica is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand at the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagining was never enough to predict how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with her own struggles, her own reasons for seeking the vision that Monica had. Admittedly, so vague, so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons will the future hold for the Literature Club? Well, I have the list. Realizing she's getting ahead of herself, Monica takes a deep breath and returns to the present. Okay, everyone. The Literature Club is starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monica turns around to face the chalkboard. On it she writes, manga, in big letters. Glad to see using the chalk and not the markers, because chalk doesn't smell and it doesn't dry out. When you're out of chalk, the stick is done, so it's obvious you're out of chalk. You don't have like, oh, there's markers there. And then you actually try all the markers and you figure out they're all dry. The only disadvantage with chalk is that it creates chalk dust, which might put you at some risk of Romano-microscopic silicon volcanoconiosis. But I still like chalk a lot better for lectures. Today we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga.
Oh, come on. Isn't this kind of forced?
That is correct, but sometimes forced is okay.
I know you don't actually want to do this, so just...
Monica shakes her head. The other two girls can attest.
Natsuki.
Mixing up the voices again. Natsuki, this is the hardest part. After making it this far, it would be so easy to just smile and move on. But that's not enough, not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me not to take you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it and I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you, and I'm sorry. But I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So I can make it up to you?
Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you to.
Wait, that's not true. And it is literally not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. I was witness to that as well. This is the Literature Club. Thanks for watching. The Literature Club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our own differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that. And it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So I just want to learn about the things that make you happy. I think that you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates.
But it's really dumb. The stuff I'm into.
Monika smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking her straight in the eye.
If you like it, then it's not dumb.
What precedent did Natsuki set for that? Oh, except for me. Sayori, you're not dumb either.
What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine. I'll show you some of my manga. Only because you admitted that it's literature, after all.
Natsuki stands up.
Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to like me just for that.
Wow, really? I really did have you all wrong, Natsuki.
Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? It's about manga, so I hope you're ready.
A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the literature club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each club member has received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws to a close, Monika approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything?
Me, not particularly. Why?
Oh, there was just something that I wanted to show you if you had a few minutes.
Sure. What is it?
She gonna play piano? It's not in here. You can follow me to the music room.
The music room? Why?
Is she gonna play the opening theme of an anime? That's kind of not the right thing. Well, you'll see. New background! You know, I was thinking back. When the club was just me and Sayori, we could talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. That piano doesn't have a stand. Oh well. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club what I needed myself. You said I was trying to make the club that I needed myself more than anyone. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself, like things I was probably always too stubborn to admit.
Oh, come on, that's too cliche. You can't mean that. I didn't even do anything.
You invoked a reaction out of her. That does something.
I just brought a bunch of manga, and then I got fussy when I didn't have my way.
That's also correct.
It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it.
No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would never have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. In my normal voice.
You know, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. But when you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can be really hard to just brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like I'm not doing enough to please everyone else. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without me having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think that I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am.
As Monika listens, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I could only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's like a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you I really started thinking about this stuff. Are you ready for a really awkward cutoff? I am. I'm gonna awkwardly cut off here and pick up right here next time.